It was the year I met her. That was the year I got married to her. The very first day we got chatting. That was the day I felt for her.
The funny thing is, we concluded everything online.
I don't know if I would her.
He didn't woo me. It was the Holy Spirit.
That would you?
Part of the way.
It was. He came with the Holy Spirit, you know.
You know, we laid on. We make do with all this carton that you maybe.
Hold up. You slept on a carton your first night together.
Yes. Not even the first, the second night, third night.
I didn't know we were going to sleep on carton, but obviously I knew there was nothing in the room.
And to me, sex is not just the thing, it's about all the emotions and everything. The first month, second month, third month, in fact, 6 months, I think that's the highest we've gone with my wife. Ìwọ nìkan ní tèmi, ìwọ nìkan láyọ̀ mi, mo nífẹ̀ẹ́ rẹ tọkàntọkàn mi, mo nífẹ̀ẹ́ rẹ tọkàntọkàn mi.
For how long have you known each other?
Okay, I met her 2017. It was the year I met her. That was the year I got married to her.
Maybe juju with that.
Well, that wasn't the plan. The plan was to, get married 2 years after. So, but along the line, she prayed, and then she was convinced that okay, we had to do our marriage.
That year.
I wasn't praying. Okay. I just got it. I was in my bedroom actually. I wasn't doing anything. It wasn't that I fasted or I was doing anything. I was just in my bedroom, and I heard in my spirit that we should choose a wedding date. That I should choose a wedding date, and I was still fighting with myself. Like, I'm the last born, so what am I doing with wedding date? And of course, I've not even gone for my service. I just finished school. Finished in 2016, so waiting for service. So I didn't know what to do. Still fighting with myself. I heard again that it is going to be December 19, and to be a Tuesday. So that got me like, how will I do wedding on Tuesday? So I had to start.
You wanted to do everybody should come and do.
No, the thing is that I wasn't even thinking of wedding because we already decided to do it 2 years after our meeting. So I wasn't even about the wedding. It was just a sudden call, and well, it came and we had to just do it.
So let me ask from your end. Okay, let me go back to her first. What was the attraction? I mean, maybe big body, masculine.
Not the big body. There wasn't big body then.
What was it like then?
Well, it was cool. The funny thing is, we concluded everything online.
Everything was online.
You guys met online?
Yes. I met her online.
So I hadn't even seen him when we started.
You had not seen him physically?
No.
But you were seeing his pictures?
Yeah, of course, I was seeing his pictures.
Did you like the frame? Or you molded this frame that we are seeing?
Well, of course now, I cannot not like the person I'm into. So, because I liked him, and I still like him.
How does that make you feel though?
Of course, I feel great because the very first day we got chatting. That was the day I felt for her. Like, that was the very, very day I felt something for her. And before then, I already had this experience that I fell in love with one lady, but I was this kind of guy that I don't know how to toast a lady. I don't know how to express my feeling. If nothing happened that kind of maybe bring us together, I would just be there and yes.
And you'll be looking at her.
And I would just be so.
Another man will come and take her.
And it actually happened. So there. Yes, I felt like wow, like because by the time I now expressed my feelings to her, she was like, and the funny thing was like this lady was already waiting for me to kind of, she was already giving me all the green light, but I was just this kind of like, I did not have a job. I did not, but the people that were kind of, even because we were kind of friends. So I know the caliber of guys that were trying to, maybe ask her out and all of that. So I kind of felt inferior to those caliber of guys. So I think that was what contributed to my, inability to kind of ask her out at that time, to approach her. So I've learned from my experience. So the day I was chatting with her and no, I said that the spirit is moving me.
And then you went to madam, any luck?
Like immediately I was, because at that moment she was kind of, I'm a writer. She read one of my articles and then she poured out all her heart, like, and that's one thing about me. When you become vulnerable to me, I have this soft place, for people. Yes. So she was so vulnerable. You don't know me from Adam, like you don't know anything about me, and then you just come. You don't even know, maybe I'll publish your story the next morning and try to kind of, cash cruise with it and whatever. But we're so vulnerable, and that kind of, it did something in my heart. Then beyond her being vulnerable, I saw, a genuine spirit. I saw someone who really wanted to be loved, and I saw somebody who is ready to kind of build a long-lasting relationship with somebody. And truth be told, that was exactly what I was also looking for, at that time of my life. I was not ready to go into a relationship that, okay, maybe 6 months time we are done. I mean, this relationship is not going anywhere. No. So I was very deliberate, and I realized that, okay, this person is somebody that she too is ready to, she's ready to go into a relationship that will lead to marriage. So immediately I told her that, see, the spirit is moving me. And she thought maybe because we chatted from maybe evening till daybreak. That
for the very first time.
Very first time. So she thought maybe because, for the very first time. So that was how powerful the connection was. Anyway, I don't know if I toasted her or not. I don't know if I would her.
Can you remember whether I toasted you or not?
He didn't woo me.
He didn't toast you. Okay, so let's.
If I didn't woo you, then how come did you?
Well, it was the Holy Spirit.
That wooed you.
Part of the wooing.
It was
Holy Spirit wooed you on his behalf.
He came with the Holy Spirit, Actually, I was coming from a broken relationship. I was actually broken, and getting to meet him, I met him through a friend, trying to revive my writing skills because I write too. So, trying to revive my writing skills, a friend introduced me to him as a writing coach. So, I was supposed to attend his conference, but I couldn't make it. So, his articles, I read his articles, and that particular one, it was talking about giving, like when you make somebody your all and then eventually the person fails you. And yes, that was what I had just experienced, and I had to just, it connected to me. I didn't know why I started voicing out. Like it was as if I had this leading to just speak out, just because throughout that period I was broken and I cried. I'll have dreams. This person we are so connected. My parents knew him, so it was a really, really sad experience. So the write-up actually brought out that sad experience I was having. I just needed to voice out. So he read
Place to vent.
Yes. So he listened to me, and while we were still talking, he came and was like, "The spirit is leading," and I'm like, "What?"
Just 10 seconds we started chatting.
And that's the amazing thing about it, because I never expected it.
Never experienced it. No be juju with that.
And prior to that time, actually, God has kind of given me a picture of who my woman is going to be. So at that moment when she was pouring out her heart and everything, so I sensed it that, okay, this is the kind of woman I'm looking for, that I would love to get married to. So I was telling her that spirit is moving me over. I love, in fact, right from there I've been telling her that I love you. But then I was also I didn't take advantage of anything because I couldn't even pronounce her name. So I even, as a gentleman.
Shindara.
Yes, so as a gentleman, I had to take permission that please can I call you so that you can pronounce your name. And she said
Scope,
yes.
because you wanted to hear her voice.
Like I wanted to hear her voice. So immediately she consented and I called and she said Oluwa Shindara. Like I was wow, like it was the beautiful girl.
Even till now you are blushing. Since 2017.
I'm telling you, I can't forget that memory. I mean, it's one of the that experiences. I knew that no, I'm really, really in love with this lady because everything about. And the funny thing, like I said, I'd not seen her. I don't even know. Maybe she's somebody that will be walking like this or anything. But I was just like, whatever happens. And then she also she went ahead. She even that day she told me that okay, maybe she did not reject. She was just laughing, smiling, and everything. But she said the next day she's not going to come online, thinking that okay, maybe because we spent so long time and that was just trying to the familiarity.
Getting to him that
and say she did not come online for that. So I was waiting, but I didn't also call. I was just waiting.
You already liking him too.
She liked me. She has started liking me. Yes, now because she saw my picture among flyers and she was like, who is this guy?
Give us the gist.
I was going to say that, but I said it. Actually, that friend, the conference I mentioned earlier, seeing the pictures, there were 5 people. There were 5 people in the picture. There was one person in the middle, the center, and I don't know why. I kept going back to the picture.
You started crushing on him. On the picture. Let's say on the picture.
I didn't even know it was the one.
Yeah, but you're crushing on the picture. Can we say that?
I didn't know it was the person. I didn't know it was the one, my friend.
But it was my picture that she was attracted to.
That's what I'm saying. She was crushing on the picture.
Yes, she was crushing.
Okay, so I want to ask a question though. How did you start, both of you? How was it when you got married eventually?
Wow, it wasn't rosy because when it was now a fact that we were getting married. Okay, so I have written that already that I had to. The first thing was to make sure that I get an apartment. Although I was still staying with my mom then, but then it was just a small place, so we had to look for a bigger apartment.
You and your mom?
Yes, my mom and she as well.
So she lived with you and your mom at the beginning?
At the beginning, yes. That was just how we got started. There was nothing, absolutely nothing in our room. Like, every couple look forward to that special night, So
what now happened that special night?
You want to hear the story?
I'm curious.
Nothing happened. We laid on. We make do with the, all this carton that maybe if you purchase a TV, the carton.
Hold up. You slept on a carton your first night together?
Yes. Not even the first, the second night, third night. I think it was the fourth night that, yes, I now got, I didn't tell her, because, even, I have one auntie, she too, she was like, Emmanuel, you are now a married man, this and that, you cannot keep. So I had to, I've been working, writing and all of that. So fortunately that week, I made someone. I didn't tell her, I just went out and I got fan and a easy mattress, right? And just one. And then that was the first 2 things I got. And when I brought it, in fact, the joy on her face, that day, man.
So me, I'm going to ask you a question, madam.
Okay.
When did he tell you before that you were going to sleep on carton that first night, like Bali on the? Did he tell you? And when he told you, did he tell you first off?
Well, I didn't know we were going to sleep on carton, but obviously I knew there was nothing in the room.
When you discovered that you're going to sleep on carton, what was the first thing?
That brought the idea of the carton. Like we couldn't sleep on the bare floor, so we had to just make do with something.
I have been sleeping on bare floor prior to the wedding distance, so she knew the condition of everything. So there was nothing hidden, and there was no any manipulation. We were both fully.
So you agreed to sleep on the floor, even if the carton was not there?
Of course.
You went to sleep on bare floor with him?
Yes. With carton and bare floor, there is no difference.
But did you feel somehow like how can the Holy Spirit be leading me to somebody that will make me sleep on bare floor on carton first night? But did you feel somehow? Did you go back to the Holy Spirit and start complaining that, bros, how far?
Well, I knew what was at stake because I was working, and although that time I was teaching and I was making little. And when the leading came for us to get married, it was a shock. Even the wedding, the planning and everything it was just God. I wasn't even thinking of where I was going to sleep. I just knew I was going to go into marriage, and God is going to do something. We are going to work. We'll keep doing our own part, and definitely He's going to do His. So I didn't run back to the Holy Spirit that because our plan was to get married 2 years after, with the hope that we would have worked and made enough to settle down. But when it came that we had to get married, we had to do what we had to do.
All my prayer points during that kind of was on this issue. So I had to pray, and the moment I started praying, even the thing God told me was like when I was saying the Spirit was moving me, when I was kind of expressing my love to her, so what's now the difference now that okay, I should now get married to her now, like if she is also ready to get married to me. So I was now like I would like to get married, but God, I don't have anything and all of that. So one thing I had to pray through like that very day was like okay, the conviction that okay, God was also going to make way for me. So I prayed a specific prayer that okay, that everything that I will need to be a husband to her and also a father to my children, God should definitely provide, because I know the background I'm coming from. I came from, this background that of course I wouldn't even wish for my own children now, with abject poverty and all of that. So I would not like my children to come into such a background and all of that. So I prayed, and then I got that conviction that okay, my prayer was answered, that God specifically convinced me that yes. So sometimes when God is telling you something you don't know, the first challenge that I have to face was my mom, because I think I took after her. She's also a disciplinarian, like no nonsense woman. So she knows her when so to approach her was and of course she's like after God. Hold on, yes, that was my yes. Of course now she's the next person, but after at that time, so if she's like so to approach her was a huge distance. So but then I've already prayed and I've already accepted. So I just went to her that in the night now, if you want to talk to your parents, go to them in the night and everything. So I just, Mom, I want to speak to you, and I said, okay, I'm getting married though. She thought it was a joke, like, hello mama, lo marry.
Oh, we now think it is a joke.
Lo marry. I said, I'm serious. And when she thought it was serious, like it was not because she knew that she was still fending for me. She's still giving me money to feed and all of that. So when she saw that I'm serious, so then she saw that she had no choice. Well, that was how it was. Not easy, it was challenging, because even at our own parents too, they had to so
what did they particularly say when you told them that you're getting married to someone? And did they ask you Shotigbale? Because that's one of the questions they will ask you. Does he have an apartment? Where does he stay? Does he stay with his parents? Are you guys moving to a new place? And where will you sleep? Some parents even want to inspect. I want to see. So what was the acceptance or rejection like?
Well, I didn't even know what to tell, because it was a battle. It was a battle for me. At that time, I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know if I was really hearing right. Like, because I know
you were doubting your hearing ability.
Yes, I know God speaks to me, and I know what means it does true. So getting that kind of message I had to check again. Like I couldn't even tell my parents for weeks. But each time the Holy Spirit comes again, like it's always as if someone is twisting my ears, and it becomes odd. And if you don't tell your parents, it was really a burden for me. So one day I just had to go and meet my dad. Like, this is what I heard, and he was lying down. He had to stand up, like.
Wedding.
And I was like, I told him, I said, I don't know if it is true. I just,
Better.
I don't know, but this is what I heard. And you know, you cannot, my daddy used to say something like, you can't have a tree in your house and not know which fruit it bears. So he knows the kind of daughter he has. And the funny thing is, they knew me with the former person. So
And it was not long after the breakup that you were talking about.
same year, I told
The
them
same year.
that nothing was going on between us again, so that they don't keep asking me of him. So when I told him, he was surprised, like, where is the man? Even if you want to get married, where is this person? You know, it's something for two people to know each other, and then you're still cutting on the ground before your parents know. So that was our own. They didn't know anybody. The only time my dad saw him was a day he surprised me, gave me a surprise visit, and introducing him. I didn't even know how to introduce him to my dad. I just told him that.
One guy like that.
I said, he's my writing friend.
Did you save his number as writing friend though? Maybe so that.
Of course not. Well, I didn't know how to just put it before that somebody is coming. And I just told him, oh, this is my friend. Before he came inside, I had to go and meet dad. That okay, I had to use style that.
I have one writing friend though.
This is my friend that is coming from what should he tell the bike man is like the place is coming, and you know, I had to just put those things before him so that he's not shocked that of course male writing friend. And one thing is, anytime I have a friend, I make my parents know, so that one person is not saying I saw your daughter with one person somewhere. So I make them, I'm transparent that way. So my mom was even taking it as I didn't even tell her because she was not going to accept anything. But when I saw time was going, I got the message in August. When I saw time was going,
August to get married in December. So September, October, November. Just 4 months.
yes. So time was going, I didn't know what to do. I told dad, he said, okay, don't worry. Forget the fact that you're the last born. You all have different destinies. And if this is what God wants you to do, fine. But how are we going to get the money for wedding? Like, we are not talking of, graduation is something that you spend. So wedding, you don't just call wedding like wedding. You just want to wed like that. And then, what do you know?
Very young.
And then it's not that he's doubting my maturity, but like, to him, I'm still a baby. I'm his last born, so he just want to go like that. So it was a battle for him too. He later told me, he cried like on my wedding day, like, my daughter is going, like, I hope she does well and all of that. So you know, my mom was not even taking me as a serious person. It was one Sunday, I was telling my sister, I said, people are thinking I'm joking. Is it cow will kill? Abi it's chicken, Abi it's goat. People should just say something. Like, I think that was August, September already. And that September, I had to just put myself into fast, like, throughout. Like, God, just speak to these people so that I'm not alone in this journey. He was convinced already, so I cannot, and I was too, so I cannot just be there and you know, God keeps speaking, like, if you decide to change the dates, I'll move my plans for you. And he said we have to do it. And of course, I checked again, is there any December 19 that is going to be a Tuesday anytime soon? There was none. So I had to just tell them, I said, this thing is serious and we have to just start preparing. My mom was like, well, let us see. So I think my dad spoke to her. They prayed about it. They spoke to our spiritual leader, our pastor. You know, they had to, because it was a difficult situation, they had to meet different spiritual leaders. Like, yes, the ones they trusted. And then one of them said, see, if 20 spiritual leaders come and the 20 are saying it's a lie, I will stand and say it is true. So that made them like, okay, now what we have to do is start looking for money.
Did they ask you about the kind of person he is and maybe to see what you were going into precisely that?
There was a particular meeting day in the family, and there was one of my uncles. He came around. In fact, he thought I was. He said, "What class are you now?" He didn't know that the meeting was even because of me, because he had seen me for a long time. So he thought I was still, of course, a baby now. So when he got to know that it is wedding we are talking about, he said, "What is his occupation?" And he said, "Writer." He said, "Writer."
Did he not ask you whether I wanted to marry writer?
He said, "Writer." He had to tell us to go and pray again. Like, he knows that. And he's a pastor, of course.
Honestly, that day was another battle that we had to face, because after we left there, my parents were embarrassed. They were pained. Were like, like they said all sort of things like, and all of that. And I just had to tell them that, see, no matter what happens, I'm going ahead with this and all of that. And they saw my resoluteness. What do I even say? Like that determination that, okay, I was this resolute and everything. And well,
so there's this question that has been bothering me since. You slept on Pali the wedding night. I mean, that's one wedding night. A lot of people, a lot of noise about wedding. Go to honeymoon, no honeymoon. So you did not have honeymoon. First off, there was no honeymoon
that night. No, because we're exhausted.
Okay.
So I was exhausted.
You just went to sleep in your house on top Pali. Right. So at what point was this turnaround? Did you have this turnaround that you can now stay in this kind of place? At what point did everything change?
Okay, so before the wedding, we're also going for counseling. We're going for prayers. I remember, one of the prayer we went to, and the prayer point that the man of God prayed that he said, he prayed in Yoruba. I would say it in Yoruba, then I may interpret. He said, that is everything that would make a home. You understand that? We should pray that God should provide it. So, and that prayer, wow, I held on to it. So, like I said, from that very week, started getting things gradually. Like,
first got the mattress and the fan.
Yes. And before she knows, I was able to get TV, then home theater, like that. Before
you didn't know.
I can't really say this is a particular time the turnaround came.
Yes, because
like,
it was just gradual like that.
Things just started coming.
Things kept coming.
And that's me. I just go out. I'll just come in.
You say you go out and just come in. Is there a place you go to pick this thing from me?
I work from home. So and I don't used to tell her. I can she just and she knows that if I'm not going to meet a client, then maybe I want to just go and see a friend. So, and me, one of our love language is surprises.
Surprises.
She loves surprises. So that was like, I cannot forget.
Just go out.
The day I brought fan and bed, I cannot forget that expression.
What was the expression like? You want to tell us?
So it was like, wow, I love this fan. So like, wow, like as if,
Of course not, like it was amazing. Like, it was not that where I can't
Okay, so because people were already saying stuff, so she was very impressed. But after all the
this man no for my, she started saying that. I think she started saying that the husband, like, I was responsible. She started saying that responsible. Okay, this is
I didn't just start saying it
yeah.
that day.
No,
I've been seeing
point of correction.
Yeah.
just it was just a surprise for me. Like, I was surprised. Exactly.
I love this man. How did you tell him that day?
I think I hugged him and like okay.
She hugged me.
I hugged him, and I hugged him again.
Wait, that hug now translated to what?
Because we had to arrange the room to prepare.
Oh, okay. To prepare.
To prepare the setting of the bed and
Why are
fan.
you driving?
I don't know. I was just asking questions, honest questions, to be honest. Okay, so Was there a point during the relationship that you had doubts? Was there a point like, okay, maybe I did not hear clear, apart from the family issues and everything, was there a point where you had doubts, like slightest?
Well, you know,
Because of the paranoia of the broken relationship, the one you just left. So maybe paranoia and everything. Was there a point where you had doubts?
yes, there was, and it really affected us. You know, at some point I'll just just be down. I'll be down and thinking of that relationship really got me. Like at some point I'll just be laughing. In fact, I got from different people. I got a particular message of not going insane. So it was as bad as that. There was a particular friend that she was just that shoulder to cry on, and I really appreciate that. It was just coming out of it was amazing. But then I still go back to it again. At times I'll just compare him like to the person, like what if this one too comes out to be like that? And is an online person, and is this person that is always about helping people, so he attracts people to himself.
Okay, so what if he now disappoints you and picks one of those people?
So it was like he's disciplined though. So but for me it was about me, it was not him. I'm the one going through the thing, or I was going through it. So it was not about him. So going through it, I just my mind keep processing this thing, like what if, and that what if coming through my mind, the insecurity, I started acting it out. There was a day I said it, and I was like, what have I really done to you? I've not even done, he has not done, I've not cut that, not even a pinch of what the other person did to you. So why should you really compare me, or why should you think like this? So, and I was healing before we met, so it wasn't so easy for me.
Do you know how to sing? Do you sing?
You can try.
Try. Do you also sing?
I composed a song.
Compose, please. Can you sing the song for?
Okay, I
This
should. I don't know how my voice is.
Just sing it. It doesn't matter. Your voice is your voice.
Wow.
Yeah, of course, it's good.
Ìwọ nìkan ní tèmi, ìwọ nìkan láyọ̀ mi, mo nífẹ̀ẹ́ rẹ tọkàntọkàn mi, mo nífẹ̀ẹ́ rẹ tọkàntọkàn mi.
Okay, that's enough. Oh, another mood can enter you.
Not that kind of
Like,
mood, like the singing mood, like
if I start like this now, like
So you can sing like this for the next.
yes, so and she'll pick it up and
well, that was how this song came about. At times it can just be in a place, and then I start singing. My own song is usually long, and I just keep singing and singing. But it just, but it is just, that day he was just singing that song, and I started singing after him. So that was how we got. This one now is like our anthem.
Yes, that's your anthem.
yes.
Like our
Okay, so what's the attraction for you about her? What was it that attracted you? Apart from the vulnerability and everything, what was the attraction?
A name. That name.
Shindara.
And anytime I mention that name, I need to always tell people that she was the one that gave herself that name. So that her name. Then she looks innocent.
She actually innocent.
She's not innocent though. She looks innocent.
I like that part.
No, what do
But
you
then
mean? Like,
asking me a question. Now let me ask. You are not innocent in terms of like not a negative way, a positive way. She's beautiful. She's very supportive. She's hardworking. She's artistic. I love art. So marrying somebody who knows how to sculpt, who knows how to draw, who knows how to paint. She does all these things, and these are things that I cannot do. You understand? So naturally, it attracts me. She's hardworking. So many traits. She's supportive. She's trustworthy. And to me, trust. I cannot survive if there is no trust.
There's this thing about couples after marriage and after childbirth. There's tendency that there will be this kind of separation because of the child. During pregnancy, there are issues. Sex, actually, being one of the issues. How have you guys been coping with this? Or have you not had that issue at all? Let me ask.
Yes. Let her answer. She's the best person to answer.
My mom is starting at 12.
Well, because it is well.
We had though. I just said we act weird. Yeah. How did he cope? Because for me, I was fine. I was fine without it. Like,
how did you cope?
Well, see, once you are getting married, you need to know that marriage is not just all rosy. It's not just all sweet and all of that. So that question you asked is a very powerful question. Yeah. So I'm this romantic guy. I'm this, for somebody that before I got married, I didn't indulge myself in so many escapades and all of those kind of things like that. This kind of guy that she's when you get married, So of course, when you now get married, you want to. So, but she's not that kind of person. You understand? Of course, she's trying. We had no issues, but after pregnancy now, lady will not have those kind of. So it was not easy. It was not really easy at all. I would understand.
Well, the understanding will not now reach again.
I will understand, of course, and she too, she will still adjust. At a point, I just had to. The truth is, for some months we can go and nothing will happen, and then we'll be fine. Be fine because especially
she will be fine, or both of you will be fine. Were you also fine? Like
yes,
fine.
Fine in the sense that I engage myself in activities. Yes, so I just to put my mind off, so I could go like months. We can go and we'll be fine. I will not take it because I know that she's not also, especially when she's pregnant. So I know that she's not also doing it to torture me. The truth is this: she has never maybe used sex as a means of torturing me. It's just the fact that she's not she's not that like I am. It is me that I'm this
ginger.
But she is not that kind of person. But then she's trying and everything. But during that period that you asked, I thank God for the grace of God. Yeah, the grace of God, and also it's not so. It wasn't easy, but then the grace of God, and also I've learned to just the strategy is I immerse myself in work. So that would just.
Those of us who are also so when that time comes, just go and start working.
Immerse yourself in work.
Something we actually intentional too. Aside in immersing himself in works and all of that, we spoke about it.
Yeah.
So we had to know that we had to tell ourselves that fine, this is not meant to be like this, but it is, yes. So I had to also start making efforts. For me, I'm fine. I was fine. Like, no, it was my own. Like, but then I had to consider him too. So even if I'm not in the mood, or I'm not, yes, I had to just be in the mood so that I'm not suffering him. Like I'm not. It is his right. So I don't have to be giving that excuses of I'm pregnant, and now because he was actually understanding throughout those periods. So we had to talk it out and this is it. And he was really understanding to know that I may not feel like it. I may not be in the mood, and even if I'm not responding, just don't take offense. So it was really, even if it was challenging, we still worked things out.
And one thing I would say is that she's somebody. Before I got married to her, she's somebody I've noticed that once you correct her, she always try to make adjustment. Like if she knows that she's teachable, yes, I need to mention that. If she knows that this is a weakness, or okay, you bring something to her attention that see this thing, she will make deliberate effort to, even though it may not be immediately, but you start seeing that okay, this person is making effort. So that's it. And me, communication, I've learned that communication is key. Like, you need to communicate. So I communicate very well. So when I communicate, she also makes that deliberate effort to this thing. So yeah.
Final question, because you're always very conservative, do you approach him first, bros alpha? Do you do that, or you feel
that people
Oh, okay. Well,
I've always been the one that is always this thing. So
you don't particularly want to?
when I realized that why will I always be the, so I now stop. So she too now starts,
Oh, when you stopped, she started.
Yes, she has to, because we
well,
discussed
we
it.
discussed it.
We discussed because that's because of, as a result of that, for months we can go, and we'll still, yeah, because I will not come, and she will just like, I will not approach her, and she is just fine, and of course
The only thing I could just do is, okay, let me just.
she just touch her.
When the touch you told me, is that a message? Okay, well, when you want to, how do you pass the message to him? If on at times when you really want to and he's not forthcoming, do you try to like pass the message to him? Big bros alpha, do you rub his face, rub his ears, or rub his bum bum, tap his bum bum or something?
It just comes as though we are playing. Like, I may just be playing, and then one thing leads to another, and then one thing leads to another.
So you don't particularly have a way of telling him that I'm ready, or if you are ready, or
At times we joke, and then we talk. Okay, let's do.
Yeah, that joke. I think in his joke, like
that joke is your
like she said it now. She's right.
joke.
Mostly it's like maybe true joke, or like lale yi, that kind of joke.
It happen.
So that kind of joke. But I have always been this, and there's this thing that I was told that also kind of affected me, and I think be careful. Some people, they may mean well to you, but then their counsel may not really work in your this thing. So I've been told that, see, if you want it, like if you want to have sex but your wife is not willing, don't. That was the so. But if she wants it, make sure you give it, no matter how you are feeling. So that mindset was in me. When we got married, I was the one. She's now making me feel, because I know sometimes she doesn't really feel like it, but she would just like, he's my husband. So at the point I was feeling like, it's not supposed to be so. And to me, sex is not just the thing, it's about all the emotions and everything. That's for me. So I stopped. That was what made me stop. So for months, we can now, and the first month, second month, third month, in fact,
Looking at fine girl in the house, so
I'm telling you, if it's now getting to that 6 months, I think that's the highest we've gone. 6 months. I'm telling you,
gone 6 months with that.
with my wife. That's to,
I don't know.
yes, we've
I'm
gone.
not sure it's up to 6 months.
We've gone.
When I'm pregnant.
Your 1 month will be like 1 day.
So I know I'm the guy.
So you
So I've told
You're
her,
taking
I've told her that, do you know that, and sometimes, I would say that, do you know that it's getting to 6 months before we've had any, whenever, so, but I don't think it has exceed that is, so that was when I will now talk, and then it's okay. So she too, that day, once we talk that day, it will be, I see, oh God.